What is going on, everybody? We're here live, all up in a good mood right now. Got a phone interview here again in about 2 hours. So gonna have some fun, guys. But today we're here to take questions we have from social media as well as your questions live. So today I'm joined by the one, the only Matthew McFadden. Matthew, how you doing, my friend?
I'm not bad. It might as well be on my own channel now. I'm on it that often.
I mean, you know, it's basically everybody's channel. Let's be real about it. This is the reason why we mention everybody's name on here.
I like that.
It's all of our channel, guys. We want everybody to be involved in this. So, guys, we got a decent amount of questions today on Twitter, but not a great amount. So it'll also allow us to talk with you guys and take your questions live today, which will be awesome. So we've got, well, let's see here. I'm going to count them out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. We got 5 questions today. So we're going to start this out. We're going to go right into question 1 from CP Morgan, who's at Anvesh, ANVESH _97. He asked, what do you think will be the future for Marcus Rashford? And if you do think he should go out on loan to fulfill his potential, which Man United is not able to get out of him? So I think he's asking, do you think Marcus Rashford's potential will be reached, and does he need to go out on loan to reach that potential?
Such a weird one because we've got almost no depth up front. So we've got Sanchez, Lukaku, Martial, Rashford, and Mata, and Lingard, who play in those front 3 positions. So really, we've got starters and then 1 backup, because not counting the youth players, Mourinho doesn't use them. So if we're to loan Rashford out, then we need to get another forward, just for like 1 or 2 years, while Rashford gets some more experience up front somewhere. So it's a bit of an awkward one. However, in an ideal situation, I'd loan Rashford out to maybe somewhere like Everton, where he's in, an established mid-table side, which is probably his level right now. Give him 1 or 2 years away and see how he does before getting him back and kind of reevaluating his position. But yeah, I'd loan him.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, that's fair. I would personally loan him because I do think that he still has the potential to reach his greatest heights at Manchester United and become like a Wayne Rooney, like one of our great goal scorers, if he reaches that full potential. So him going out on loan right now to fulfill that full potential makes sense. I think that going to a mid-table side, going to a Bournemouth, going to a Crystal Palace, going to maybe a Fulham. Fulham might be a good one too because of Claudio Ranieri going there. Yeah. I mean, we've got people we could send him off to, and that he could start week in, week out. And I think that he would be a fantastic addition to any of those squads. So, I mean, I think that he can still reach his potential, but I think that it will require him playing week in and week out because we all saw what he did yesterday. And it was kind of abysmal. Not even just kind of. It was abysmal. Like shooting the ball like 6 feet wide on either side at one point in time. Like when you're six yards out from the box. It's not exactly a good thing. But yeah, I actually like that question to start off. And then he did ask us to he said his semester ends or semester exams start tomorrow, and to wish him luck. So good luck, my good sir.
Oof.
You're gonna smash him out of the park. Bam. Just like that. Just like that. So next up, let's see who we got our next question from. All right, so we actually got a question about the Man United women's team, which I really like. So Adam Bateman, who's at Boxy Bait, which is BOXY, Bate, Bate. He said, "For how long do you think that the United women's team can continue their unbeaten run?" And I'm not going to lie to you. I've only seen like one game this year, and it's because I just got MUTV. So I don't fully know like how good the team is. But when you're seeing score lines of 10-0, 6-0, 5-0 consistently, I'm going to say that you're probably pretty damn good. And from what I understand, they're also in a lower league than they should be. Apparently they're not in the top tier for the women's leagues in England. Okay. So, I mean, that right there tells me that they could potentially continue this unbeaten run forever. And for the rest of the season.
The whole season.
For the rest of the season, they could be the unbeatens. They could be the invincibles. They could be the forever winnings. I don't know. We'll come up with a cool nickname for them or something. I don't know. But honestly, I do believe that there is the potential for them to win out the rest of the year. I mean, Matthew, have you watched many of the women's games this year?
I'm kind of in the same situation as you, in that I've not really watched much of it. However, I saw the league table yesterday or today, and it was something like they played 12 games or something, and their goal difference at that time was like 39 or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
It just sums it up. Wasn't their first ever competitive game like a 12-0 win over Villa?
Yep.
Or something like that.
It was some crazy scoreline, like absolutely outrageous.
But no, I've not watched much of them this season. However, I've obviously had loads of good things about them. They're absolutely smashing out of the park at the moment. So to answer that question, considering they're probably in a bit of a lower league compared to their standards, who knows, they might as well do it for the whole season.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I could see it, man. I really could. And but we're gonna move on. That's a great question, Adam. And just so you know, I am gonna start trying to watch the women's games more often. So I literally just got MUTV about a week and a half ago. So I apparently should have waited because I could have gotten it 25% off. So that's a my bad. That's a my bad. But we actually got another question here that was from a conversation that we had earlier between Ash and myself. So he's at ASSOTMUFC on Twitter. And he asked the question, out of our attackers, Martial, Lukaku, Rashford, Lingard, Mata, Sanchez, and Martial. Well, you mentioned Martial twice. So basically, out of our attackers, how many of them would make it into the top 6 side and be starting?
I'll kick it off and say Martial. He'll start.
Yeah.
Maybe. There's doubts as to whether he'd start every single game for Man City or be that consistent starting player, like holding down possession. But he'd kind of be that sort of Mahrez figure where he's not starting every game, but he's playing in most games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, it's what's going on with Sadio Mane right now. Like how Mane doesn't necessarily start every game, but he's there basically every game.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, do you think Martial's the only one?
At the moment, if you're choosing players based on reputation, Sanchez. But considering he's been awful for United, probably not. Lingard, to be honest, I'd see him starting for a big team in a big game because he's got that work rate and that ability to track back from a forward position. But in terms of adding something to a side, nothing really. Rashford wouldn't. Lukaku, no question he wouldn't. Mata, he's a bit of a strange one. Mata's probably like Arsenal quality, not quite the very top, but not quite mid-table, somewhere in between that.
So I feel like Mata would walk in to like 3 or 4 teams. I don't think he'd walk into every team, but I think that he would be probably be starting as a number 10 in most teams because he does still know how to just play that pass perfect, you know?
Yeah. And
the ball literally sticks to his feet. So, I mean, for me, I think Martial would pretty much be starting in every single team. I think that the City one is a good example of like maybe one team that he maybe wouldn't start every week, but I think that at Tottenham he'd be starting week in, week out. I think that Arsenal he's definitely starting week in, week out. I mean, Liverpool, that's probably a questionable one too. Like maybe he doesn't start week in, week out, but he's probably at least getting on the pitch every week. Chelsea, not even a question. Again, I'd say absolutely. Chris asked, "When's my big announcement coming?" It's going to be at the end of the stream. Is the big announcement. You're going to want to be here for it too. It's pretty big. So that's what she said. But
on my forehead. And trust me, that's a big announcement.
Yes, it is a very massive announcement. But then Arsenal, once again, like that's a definite. So then, I mean, Lukaku. I actually think that Lukaku would probably start at Chelsea right now. Morata's garbage. Let's be real. Olivier Giroud isn't that good. So
I'd start Giroud over Lukaku and Morata, to be honest.
Well, I would say at the moment, but let's say that if you were to rewind the clock and you even get last year's Lukaku back.
Yeah, if we're talking about them, the forwards on top form, then Lukaku goes ahead. But the problem is with Lukaku and Chelsea style of play, Chelsea, obviously have that Sarri goal. Tactic where they need that striker to be part of the build-up. And that's something that, given how shocking Lukaku's touch and passing is, probably isn't going to be a good fit for Chelsea. But if we're sort of not really going too deep into tactics, and just going for quality of the player and quality of the team, Lukaku probably gets in there.
Yeah, I agree with that. And here's the thing. I also think that because I remember watching a video of Lukaku on YouTube where he was like talking about how he works on like his build-up play and stuff like that. I remember watching old videos of him like getting passes in and basically holding the guy off and holding up the ball and then being able to spin around guys when he was at Everton. And he also probably weighed about 30 to 40 pounds less than he does right now. Like he does have the ability to have build-up play. But it's just like right now that for some reason all of his build-up play is gone. So I don't know what happened to him. Lingard, I would say, is probably just a squad player for every single top six side. I really do believe Lingard is a great player to have in and around the squad. He's a good representative for Manchester United too. Just being a local kid, and he seems to know how to work with the young kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's that video that surfaced of him like pulling up on the street and going and playing football with some kids on the street. I thought that was really cool. But I think that ultimately Lingard would not be a starter in any top six side. And that includes Manchester United. But good squad player for every single top six side. We already talked about Mata. I think that he probably walks in and starts I think he'd probably start for Spurs. I think he'd probably be a guy that would start occasionally for City. I can honestly see him being a great number 10 for City. And I think that Pep would love somebody like him. Chelsea, I think that Chelsea's probably the one that they probably wouldn't take him back, but that's just because he's already been there. That might just be me.
Yeah, true.
And then Arsenal, definitely. And then, Alexis Sanchez is the weird one. Like, he really is.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of squads would still take Alexis Sanchez because I think that Alexis Sanchez is still a quality player, but I think that he is not getting his best brought out of him at Manchester United. Matthew, what are your thoughts on Alexis Sanchez and if he would make it into like any of these other top six sides?
But if I'm comparing Sanchez to any player right now, it would probably be Wayne Rooney, in that he started his career off so early. I think he started when he was 17 and was getting regular games at the time. and then moved to, I think it was Udinese in Italy about 2 years later. And by then, he had already played so many games. I think he's just kind of suffering from burnout now, and the fact that he's been playing so many games since he was a teenager and been asked to track back so much, put in that work rate that he's kind of known for, that if you look back and look at the bigger picture, it's kind of expected that he's having this downfall, but not quite, on this scale of the downfall that he's having right now. So he's a bit of a weird one because on reputation, like I said, in the name Alexis Sanchez, he's still one of the biggest players in the league. However, when you do consider current form, recent events, the wages as well, no club's going to want to touch him with those wages, especially considering he's turning 30.
I would say take wages out of the equation personally. I think we're talking about overall talent.
Yeah, if we talk just ability, then he probably gets in. He'd get back into Arsenal. He wouldn't get into Chelsea because Hazard's there.
Yeah.
Man City he wouldn't get into. Tottenham, to be honest, I rate humans on miles ahead of Sanchez. And what's the other team? Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Mane as well. He's right now, I think he's better than Sanchez, and he's about 3-4 years younger than Sanchez.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool signing him, maybe as a, I don't want to say squad play because that sounds pretty harsh on Sanchez, but someone who's not really going to start every single game.
Well, and I think that
take that role.
I just, and like you just said there, I think that ultimately right now is the reason why, because his form has dropped so much from his time at Arsenal to his time at Manchester United, that's where I think that ultimately he probably wouldn't make it into squads right now. But it's also where my argument of if we had another manager that was getting the best out of these players, would he be getting into these squads? And I think it's possible. I do think it's possible. So, I mean, but he did ask about basically every single position. I mean, I think in the midfield, basically the only two people that would possibly make it into top six sides in our midfield are Pogba and Fred.
I'd say Pogba's dead set as a midfielder in the top six side, apart from Man City.
I think he'd walk into Man City. I think Pep would replace David Silva with him like that.
As a long-term replacement, probably. But if we're going off current ability, consistency, that kind of thing, I think Pep would much prefer David Silva. Yeah, if we're talking the next few years in mind, then Pogba would be a bit of a long-term replacement.
Yeah.
As for other teams, yeah, he'd walk into every single one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Just don't really have a central midfield. They've got Eric Dyer and Dembele, who's about 30 years old.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Ash said he thinks that Pogba would get into any side. The rest are all garbage. I mean, and that's fair. Which, by the way, AFF, he said Jose's getting the best out of no one. Completely agree. And Ash also said earlier that Chelsea still have Hazard. That's why Martial, and with a little wink, that's why Martial wouldn't get into their team. Hey, look at me. Martial's better than Hazard. It's true.
Oh, he said it. He said it, so he has.
It's true. It's true. Martial's better than Hazard. Get over it, Chelsea fans. He'd walk into your squad right now. He would do it. I'm just having fun more than anything, guys. But Martial, honestly, I think is better than Hazard. That's a
good point. Martial could play up top for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's a really good one, Dan. I like that. Chelsea fans triggered. Yes, they are, Dan. Yes, they are. All Chelsea fans are officially triggered right now. But I do think that I think Fred would probably walk into a few different teams as well because of the talent that he has that just hasn't had the opportunity to be shown yet at Manchester United.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Fred's a bit of a weird one because we obviously haven't seen much of him in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think he'd get into Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because we have a midfield right now. They've got that Torreira guy, who apparently is, the second coming of Jesus, but that's Arsenal fans for you.
Well, yeah.
Chelsea, he probably wouldn't get in there when you look at the fact that they've got Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic.
They do have a good
midfield right now. He's on absolute form of his life.
Yeah.
But I'd say that kind of team that are trying to get into top four, he'd be a starter there. Anywhere else, he'd be a squad player.
I do agree with that. And then everybody else, I'm kind of like, I don't know if any of them would be starters, but I think they all have potential. I mean, Andres Pereira, I think, is somebody that has potential. I think that he would be loved by Pep. I think that he'd be loved by Klopp.
Under Pep. Definitely.
But ultimately, we just don't know. And I'm actually I am scared about losing Andres Pereira because I'm afraid he is going to go somewhere and be absolutely fantastic. So, real quick, I just wanted to answer Chris Beddington's question. He asked, Andrew, what is your opinion on Jose and Alexis having a fight? Alexis wins. Head kick.
Jose's always got a few bottles to check out.
That is true.
As we've seen last night.
Damn it. Matthew, you know what? You might have just turned the fight in Jose's favor. Damn it.
I can't believe you're arguing for Jose. Never thought I'd ever do that.
Yeah, seriously. I'm kind of I'm gonna say, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe Jose would win it, but that's just because he's too stubborn to actually lose.
Yeah.
So
Mourinho, no one would win it, but Mourinho wouldn't lose it.
Huh?
And that's the most important thing.
So then ultimately our defenders, I mean, you guys have seen the rumors that Bailly is supposedly possibly going to be going to Tottenham or Arsenal, and he's not even playing right now. I mean, I think Lindelof is another one that would walk into a couple different squads. But I think besides that, I mean, I don't think that there's any other defender that would really make it into the squad.
You could argue Luke Shaw might make it into one or two teams.
Okay, Luke Shaw, yeah, I would say probably would make it into. I mean,
although he'd probably only get into Arsenal because the rest of the teams, I think Tottenham have got Davis and Rose, who are probably on the same level. Liverpool have got Andy Robertson, and he's the best left back in the league.
At the moment, yeah.
It. And I'm not saying that because he's Scottish. It's because he's actually the best left back in the league. Chelsea, they've got Alonso. City have Mendy, who, to be honest, is a social media manager with a good cross. That's all what he is.
Yeah.
See, so many times he gets absolutely burned when someone goes near him. So maybe Man City, but then again, when you compare Luke Shaw to other people in different positions who are starters for Man City, there's a bit of a downgrade in that.
Yeah, I ultimately agree. I mean, I think that Luke Shaw would probably make it into a couple different squads. I think that potentially Delo might make it into a couple different squads, but not yet.
Yeah. In the future, he could.
But in the future, yeah. But ultimately, I don't think that any of other of our defenders would definitely do that. But like AFAF said, Jose is getting the best out of no one right now. So ultimately, I don't know what we have in a squad. So that's the hard part. That is the hard part. So,
exactly.
Let's see here. I just wanted to see if there was any other questions, right? Like real quick in here. I saw a good show last night where one of the questions was, what do you think? Okay, so the question is, what do you think Jose does in training for our attacking game? Pep, for example, creates space and triangles. What does Jose do? And that comes from Chris McTeague on here. Honestly, Chris, that's a fantastic question. I mean, can you answer that, Matthew? Can you answer what we really realistically do on the training pitch?
Is he even ahead of attacking training? I don't think he has.
I mean, I see a lot of pictures.
It's attacking the training sessions. Yeah.
I see a lot of pictures. I see a lot of like, hey, we're running around some cones and we're running around some poles and we're smiling a lot. I see that we're smiling a lot. But I mean, besides that,
I don't think he does anything.
I don't think so.
It'd be interesting to see what he actually does as a coach.
I really would love to see that. I would love to be a fly on the wall at Manchester United. I mean, and Ash might be right. He said Carrick and McKenna do all the drills. Jose doesn't do anything, so it's down to them. But, I mean, Ash, I bet you that Mourinho also still probably does line them out for what he wants done.
Yeah.
So I think that ultimately, though, Carrick and McKenna do run the training. But at the same time, I don't think that Mourinho wouldn't allow them to, would only allow them to do what he wants, because Mourinho is the ultimate egotist, and he won't let anything happen at his team that he doesn't want happening. So, so we got this question here from at Manx the Unite, which is MANCS the Unite, and he said,
"That's a nice profile picture he's got. I wonder who made it."
Yeah, I wonder too.
I know
it must. Maybe it's Mr. Matthew McFadden, but I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe you guys should consider contacting him on Twitter if you want something similar. I don't know.
That is a shameless plug.
So the question is, who do you think's done the best job at United with the money they had to spend? Moyes, LVG, or Jose? That's a fantastic question right there.
Oh, that's a weird one. Right, Mourinho right now, let's just say, if you take what's happened so far and extend it to the end of the season, so say Mourinho will finish 7th after 3 years of management, after spending, I don't know how much, but it must be close to about £400 million. And he's finished 7th. Well, David Moyes, he spent £30 million on Marouane Fellaini and finished 7th. Now, I'm not saying David Moyes is a better manager than Jose Mourinho, but stats don't lie. It was Louis van Gaal, I think.
David Moyes in, guys. You heard it here first from Matthew McFadden.
Too right. We might have a chance to see Lee Brandon go by then.
Hey, you know what? Maybe.
And you know what? I don't care about leagues. I just want to see Lee Brandon go. That's I think, is a pinnacle of football fandom. Seeing that man represent the team and go for a Premier League game.
Moyes with Bob Bradley as assistant. Yes.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Meg Nuts for life. That would be unbelievable.
That's class, Dan Jones. That's absolutely class. So, I mean, personally, I would say LVG has probably done the best with the signings. I mean, Matthew, do you agree?
I think LVG has been the less catastrophic. That just sums up our managers after Alex Ferguson.
I think that
he bought about 104 players in his first season. So it's kind of like, you see those fake agents or like fake news sources on Twitter who just post out a bunch of absolute rubbish and then delete all their tweets that are fake ones just so that they can see, oh, look at my success rate, when in fact they've just said a bunch of absolute rubbish and some of it's been a success. I feel like Louis van Gaal was like that. And I feel like Martial, maybe Herrera, Luke Shaw were only 3 signings that are really that successful at United. Unless I'm clearly missing someone, but...
I mean, do you think that Rojo has been any good?
Nope.
I mean, here's the thing. I think when he was moved to center back, he was good. But he was a shit left back.
I've ever seen. And I've seen Matteo Darmian play.
Yeah, no, he was a shit left back.
There was a stat that came out, I think, last week that says Rojo's missed 37% of all first-team action since he signed for Man United, which is just shocking. Like, that's even worse than Phil Jones.
Yeah, I mean...
Don't get me wrong, he's a bit of a weird defender in a way. He's like a mix of Eric Bailly and Phil Jones combined into one, where he's a bit of an absolute nut job, and you kind of like that, but he is prone to having an absolute hurl over game and giving away penalties.
Yeah. I think that when he's a center back, that's where he's playing his best. And in a team that would probably benefit from having ball-playing center backs, I mean, Rojo is a ball-playing center back. He can do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that we have not utilized him to his best form, other than in Mourinho's first year. So, I mean, Dan Jones actually did bring up a good comment here too. He said he thinks that Mourinho invested in the better players, but he's not getting the best out of those players.
100%. When you look at LVG signings, a bunch of them were average, or just kind of like Most of them are squad players, in all honesty.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
He's signed that guy. But yeah, Mourinho's attracted the higher profile players. To be fair, like the reputation staff. And signing Pogba, Mick, and Bale when you're in the Europa League is absolutely nuts.
Just so you know, Matthew, you are breaking up a little bit. So, yeah.
You may have bad internet at the moment.
By the way, guys, I literally just got this from Bleacher Report. Red Devils set to activate 1-year extension to fend off clubs in January for David De Gea. So David De Gea is going to be here for 1 more year guaranteed. Yay. Thank God. Because without him, we're in a relegation battle.
On that. But why only 1 year? If they're really intent of keeping him at the club, then just sign him up for a 4-year contract or something.
Well, I think that they're trying to. And so, Ash, I did see that supposedly he said he was going to sign a new contract, but he's waiting to be offered $350,000 a week. It was either 300 or 350. But either way, I think this is also to buy time for the contract negotiation. Instead of allowing him to go have conversations with other teams, I think that this just buys the time for us to be able to get that extension done. So,
actually, on the flip side, compared to what I said, next year, Mourinho, the chances are he's not going to be there. So he's got another year to consider his options.
Yeah.
And that manager has to get things right in that year in order to keep De Gea.
Or at least looking more positive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the last question we got here on Twitter was, if you were manager at Manchester United for 24 hours, what would you do? Which I think that, so this was from at the Manx Unite as well. I think this was kind of more referring to like if we were given the responsibility of like who to sell, who to buy, for 24 hours, what would you do?
Assuming we're in the summer transfer window.
Yes.
Because right now I don't think we can do anything. So the summer transfer window, one day, I would pay for Darmian's bus to the nearest airport.
Yes.
To be honest, I could just do that and I'll be hailed as a Man United legend. With Fellaini, I'd just try and offload him. Like I saw a couple of Mourinho accounts today, absolutely over the top that their favourite player scores when they're missing the point. The fact that we have to go with ball. Like, if we get rid of Fellaini, then it's just going to be a massive sigh of relief because he symbolises everything that's gone wrong post-Fergie.
Yeah, I agree with
Fellaini,
that.
even though he can be useful sometimes. In terms of signings, hands down a centre-back. Whether it's someone like, Koulibaly or whatever, would a player of that kind of calibre want to join United when we're in absolute free fall at the moment? I don't really know. We might need to look towards, like mid-table Premier League teams or whatever, try and get a good option. I'd say for cheap, but there's obviously that United premium on top of that. In terms of signing players, so yeah, centre-back, hands down, and a substitute striker. But I'm not too sure who. Maybe not a substitute striker, actually a first choice striker.
I'm about to say first choice striker, and then let's see what happens. Because then having both him and whoever's going to be the first choice striker and Lukaku wouldn't be a horrible thing. Maybe get the best out of both. But I mean,
maybe play 2 up top.
Yeah, possibly. Like maybe switch to a 3-5-2.
Lukaku, Rashford, Martial.
So I mean, if I was manager for 24 hours, realistically, I think you could get rid of Darmian. I think you could get rid of Jones, because even if it just meant cutting him, I would get rid of. I would get rid of Fellaini because ultimately I agree he does symbolize everything that is wrong with Manchester United. And then I would buy one center back, like you said, I think this could all be done in 24 hours. Buy one center back and buy one attacking player, whether that be a striker or a 10 or a winger, whatever it is. I think that would be the best for Manchester United. Now, personally, you know who I would go with, the homie, right here, Christian Pulisic. Bring him in as a 10, make it happen.
Some boy.
He is the homie. You already know what's up. But
I'm getting a poster of him putting up on my wall tomorrow, so
yes,
going to be wrecking the boy as well.
Yes, you might as well just already start working on the Photoshop of getting him in the Manchester United kit.
Should I?
Because it's bound to happen.
New number 7 and everything.
Yeah. But I mean, I actually, funny enough, because I do think that Juan Mata will probably leave. I think that he'll probably get the 8. But that's just because I think Juan Mata is going to leave.
I'd get for Andy Pereira, number 8. Obviously, he plays consistently.
I mean, ultimately, I think that Marcus Rashford never should have been given the 10.
He's the worst number 10 in my lifetime.
And it's nothing against Marcus Rashford. I just don't think that he was ready for it. And I actually think that Christian Pulisic would actually be a proper person to give a number 10 to, because I think that he is a number 10, whereas Marcus Rashford is actually a number 9, and at best, maybe a number 7. That's at best. But I think Martial should be given the number 7. That's just me, though.
See, me with my OCD, I wouldn't give a left winger a number 7, because number 7s are traditionally right wingers. So you look at Beckham and Best, for example. They were the, 2 of the most famous number 7s. Just because it purely messes with my stupid OCD, I wouldn't give Martial number 7.
I mean, that's fair. So, real quick, guys, if you actually want to start asking us questions, now is a great time because we are officially through all of our Twitter questions. So, if you guys have some questions you want to ask, perfect time. Perfect time. We'll answer any and all questions about Manchester United right now. I mean, so I've heard a lot of people talk about Jadon Sancho possibly coming to Manchester United. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Under a new manager?
How much of an absolute piss boiler would that be? The guy's left Man City, 18 months ago? And he would come to United 10 times a better player.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Pogba, but even funnier.
Yeah.
Where he's left his boyhood club and just came back an infinitely better player. But to be honest, again, the cynic in me says, why would he leave? Why would he leave Dortmund when they are, 7 points ahead of second place in the Bundesliga? He's scoring or creating a chance or a goal, every 40 minutes or something like that, in an attacking team, and he comes to United and learns how to play right wing back. So the pessimist in me would say, why would he join? But he'd be a bit of a dream signing too.
I mean, so here's the thing. I think that if we had a new manager, Jadon Sancho makes sense. But I think that under current regime, there's no way I would ever bring back Jadon Sancho to the Premier League. No way.
No, not for a minute. If we have someone like Pochettino or Eddie Howe, then yeah, definitely.
So, Mr. Exclusive asks, can we bring in the women's manager? I mean, apparently we should. We'd be winning games 12-0.
Might as well, yeah.
And so Dan just said he could see Neymar going to Madrid and Sancho to PSG.
Oh yeah, Neymar is definitely going to Real Madrid. That PSG thing was kind of like Di Maria when he moved to us so that he can get a transfer to PSG. They just didn't want to sell him at that time to a specific team for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Neymar's probably going to go to Real Madrid. Take over that number 7 shirt.
And they need it right now too, because they are in dire times. Yeah. Dire times.
They got beat 2-0 against, I forgot what team it was, but it was a terrible mid-table team on the weekend, which sort of ended that new manager's run of success.
And then Mr. Exclusive also just said Mbappe could also go to Real Madrid. I mean, I could see it too. I could.
Could you imagine that front three, Neymar, Mbappe, and Bale?
Oh my God, dude.
Christ enough, like
just all the pace. All the pace. Like, they would be so freaking fast. Like, Mbappe seriously has to be the fastest player in world football right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like,
the fastest player in FIFA.
Oh, yeah.
We all know that that's 100% accurate, but yeah.
Like, FIFA's always accurate, by the way. Don't ever question FIFA, ever, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Lukaku's 86.
Yes.
That's so accurate. And the league round is 73. That's an absolute shocker.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, why? How? How is Lee Grant only 73?
He just adds at 100.
And at a minimum. I'm talking maybe 120.
Scott McTominay as well. How is he sober? How is he above 70 or 80?
This is my favorite comment of all time, Jared Lundberg. Mbappe to Phoenix Rising is a lock, guaranteed. Bam.
Oh, damn right.
Dude, could you imagine Kylian Mbappe actually going to Phoenix Rising? You're probably talking a minimum of 120 goals in a season.
You've gone from Neymar to Jason Johnson. I mean, if that's not the biggest upgrade in football, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on it. I'm on board now. Get Mbappe to Phoenix Rising. Make it happen, owners. I know you're watching. Come on. Make it happen. So Chris Bennington asked me a couple weeks ago about Javi Garcia, who's the manager for Watford.
Oh, yeah.
And what does he think that he could be a good successor at Manchester United? So, Matthew, I'm going to throw that one to you first.
Right, I'm not going to claim to know every single thing about this guy. But for me, it just seems like that kind of manager who would just float around mid-table teams. I think it was at Espanyol. It was either like Espanyol and Malaga or one of those teams in Spain.
Yeah.
Before going to Watford. Although apparently he's done really well with Watford. I think his first game was a 4-2 win over Chelsea. When they were in absolute dire straits ever since Everton showed an interest in Marco Silva. No, in terms of Man United quality, nope.
Yeah, ultimately, I agree with you. I do not think that he is a Manchester United quality manager, at least not yet, because he has kind of, like you said, just kind of floated around. Just floated around. And, I mean, and he said, I don't see him as a very attacking manager. That's what Chris just said. And ultimately here, I agree with that. I don't think he's a very attacking manager. I think that there might be a point where we might need to go after somebody like that. But at the same time, if we're going to do that, why not go after Eddie Howe? Eddie Howe, who's got the reputation of attacking, and he's brought a team from a League Two side all the way up to a mid-table Premier League side. That's some impressive shit right there. Like, I ultimately, and with almost no money, too. That's the other thing to remember, with almost no money. So I'm all in on doing Eddie Howe if that's the type of manager we have to get. And funny enough, I actually think that we could probably go fire Mourinho today and bring in Eddie Howe tomorrow. Isn't
it only 14 million now to get rid of him, as opposed to that like 27 million or whatever it was a few weeks back?
Yeah, like
just some kind of rumor.
It might just be a rumor, but here's the thing: all of the whole wage thing is all rumors because we don't know what the wages are for these people. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so I think that ultimately getting rid of Mourinho, no matter what the cost is, end of the day, we're Manchester United. Like, we should be getting rid of him because he's not good enough. Dan Fairchild, big fan of the show. I'm going to start my own channel. Just curious what camera you use and what advice you would give. I really appreciate that, Dylan. So Dylan Fairchild is apparently starting up his own channel. So, I mean, funny enough, Dylan, I'm just using – so I've got a MacBook Pro, and for now I'm just using the camera on my MacBook Pro. Simple as. And my recommendation for you is keep your expectations low to start and make it so – so great example – I could have gone out and I could have gone and bought a 4K web camera and the nicest mic. I mean, guys, this is my mic that I'm using. Just tiny little thing, cost me $29. But I could have gone out and bought a $120 mic. I could have soundproofed this room. I could have done all these different things. But ultimately, keep what you want to do low at first. And then from there, build. And as your channel grows, start improving the quality of your streams. Because I'm already kind of reaching the point where I'm probably going to try and add the 4K camera come Christmas time, because I'm also going to be moving rooms come Christmas time because of just different reasons that are going to be going on. So, but ultimately, end of the day, Dylan, the most important thing is your content. I mean, I feel like part of the reason why my streams have grown, and I've been at a minimum growing by 3 to 4 subs a week right now, I feel like the reason why that's happening is because of the content that goes out. I think if people didn't like the content, they wouldn't watch. So keep your expectations low to start, and as your channel grows, grow with it. Because, I mean, being almost up to 300 subs in a little over a month is, I think that's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but I think that growing that much, that fast, says that people are at least enjoying the content. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, anyways, guys, let's get into some more football related questions. Rip Bob McNair. Yeah, that was pretty sad. Just got another sub. Boom. I appreciate that, Jared. Thank you. Let's see here. I'm trying to, because we did kind of go into a little bit of something there.
I think he's onto something. I know exactly who you're talking about.
All right. But anyways, guys, so if you guys have got questions, we're only going to take like 1 or 2 more. So be sure to get them in. Doug, by the way, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that's joined so far. I mean, we've got Doug, Dan, Jared. We've got Chris, Dan, Mr. Exclusive, always. Mr. Exclusive is the homie. Of course, Ash is here. I mean, like Ash, love having you, man. Let's see, Logitech webcam, Blue Yeti microphone. Good to start off with YouTube channel. I mean, Football Crucial. Yeah, that's. I mean, if you don't already have a camera on your laptop or whatever, yeah. I mean, I think that buying some don't go out and go spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars right off the bat. Like if you're gonna invest in your channel, maybe put like a couple $100 at most.
I think when people start off a YouTube channel and pay so much money to start it, they expect that kind of instant growth, and when they don't get it, the motivation and morale is just going to go way down. And that's also another thing. If someone goes into YouTube with the main and only goal of turning it into a job, then the chances are they're not going to succeed as much as someone who does it because they want to, but their secondary objective is to maybe make some money out of it. In terms of like priorities and expectations, you need to have them sorted.
Yeah. And like I was saying, be sure to keep your expectations low, because I figured that at a minimum, and I'm talking at a minimum, I was going to be waiting at least 2 years before anything would happen in terms of monetization of this channel. So, yeah. I mean, and that's if I ever made it to that point. Listen, end of the day, if all I'm on here to do is just talk to the 12. I mean, we've had basically between 11 and 14 people watching live all stream. So, I mean, I'm happy to have every single person here. And guys, just genuinely, I'm always happy to have people here because I love interacting with you guys end of the day. I mean, having Matthew here, I mean, all my guests have been amazing. Every single one of my guests has been amazing. And we've actually got a fun guest for you on Friday. I'm sure you guys.
Is that who I think it is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. We have got my twin on the channel on Friday. We found my twin, and he will be on the show on Friday to preview Southampton. It's gonna be awesome.
The Yankin Mank Show, as it should be called.
Oh, it's gonna be called that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Dan and Chris. Yeah, we found my twin. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Exclusive. I'm gonna ask him to just text me a picture because I found Mr. Exclusive's doppelganger too. Like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome to have my twin be on the show with me. I might even have him intro the show just to freak you guys out because it is pretty uncanny how much alike it. So, is it who I think it is? So, Chris. He goes by Benjamin Brazil on Twitter. So
I think it's at Benny MUFC, isn't it?
Yes, at Benny MUFC, BENNY MUFC. If you guys want to follow him now because honestly, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, that's not Andrew." Like if he was to shave his beard, his face structure is a little bit different than mine, but. Yeah, I can't wait to get him on here, guys, because he's also a season ticket holder for Manchester United. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So, let's see here. We got any more questions? Dan, I found the Undertaker lookalike. I did find him, and I told him that he was that he got the compliment of being an Undertaker lookalike.
Is that a compliment?
Oh, dude, the Undertaker's a fucking legend. Yeah, you do not disrespect the Undertaker's name, bro.
I'll be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of him.
What?
I'm getting kicked off the street now. No, I was never a fan of him. Like, I didn't particularly dislike him, but
look,
I just found him a bit boring after a while.
His gimmick is kind of unilateral, and that's where, like, I think that when he progressed as a wrestler. Like he went to that exactly. He went to the American Badass phase. He was the demon phase where he was kind of like, sacrificing people. I mean, he was going to sacrifice Stephanie McMahon. Like he did go through different stages, but the Undertaker was the man, dude. Don't disrespect the Undertaker's name, okay? You need to check yourself, Matthew.
Sorry, everyone in the chat.
So, Chris Bennington asked a fantastic question. Who is the best center back in the Premier League?
Virgil van Dijk, hands down. Next question.
Jesus.
I don't think there's any competition. As much as I hate to admit it, the guy is an absolute colossus.
All right, so we're getting the request for Arthur. We'll bring on Arthur. By the way, I agree, Virgil van Dijk. I do agree. I hate saying it too, but it's between Virgil van Dijk and, I mean, you could maybe make the argument Toby Alderweireld, but he has been having the greatest of seasons.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think Eric Bailly could be better than him if he was actually playing. But you know what? No, I'm going to go ballsy. You know who it is, Matthew? It's Phil Jones and his pink boots.
Right, we're talking about humans here. Don't include Phil Jones.
Listen.
There's no chance.
Seriously, though. Yeah. Hey, Bubs, do you want to come say hi to the people? Come on. Come say hi. There he is. There he is. Mwah.
It's in.
There you go. Mwah. Thank you. All right, guys. Arthur made his appearance. He made his contractually obligated appearance here. Mwah.
What's his wages?
So right now he's on 3 dog biscuits a week.
That's undervalued.
Oh, dude, that's undervalued big time. But he's currently in the negotiation phase for a new contract because he has been growing, so big. Like, what was that, Matthew? I'm sorry, he shook as you. Oh, okay. We might have lost Matthew for a second. Yeah, seriously, Arthur, guys. Arthur is the homie. We all know it. He's right now only on 3 dog biscuits a week. I'm sure that's shortly going to go up to 7 a week. It's going to need to happen. And then eventually it's going to have to go up to like probably 14 to 21 a week. Like, we're talking at minimum. At minimum. Arthur's the homie. But, guys, real quick, we're going to wrap up the stream. So I have a huge, huge announcement for you guys. Something about my future. Something that is massive about my future. There's a couple people in here that already know about it, primarily my mods. But guys, I am gonna be a dad. There's my little baby. I'll flip it around. Got my little nugget coming. We don't know we don't know the sex yet. We're gonna find out between, I think it's like 16 and 20 weeks. So we just got out of the first trimester. So we're 12 weeks, according to their estimation, we're 12 weeks and 5 days right now. So as of Friday, we're going to be 13 weeks. So wifey and I are pregnant. Arthur's going to be a big brother. That's the key there. But obviously my little nugget, who I think it's going to be a boy. My mom thinks it's going to be a boy. But funny enough, my dad and my brother think it's going to be a girl. So we don't, obviously it's a 50-50 shot of what it's going to be. But I mean, guys, again, I'll show it again. We got baby Southwick. If it's a boy, we got future right winger for Manchester United, guys. Guaranteed future right winger. Not even a question. Future number 7. He'll outbeat baby Sebastian for that number 7. He'll be younger too. That's right. He'll be younger too. So yeah, guys, I'm super stoked to have baby Southwick coming. Don't when we find out what it is, I'll be sure to bring it to you guys. But because we're out of the first trimester now, we can officially talk about it because those super scary times are gone. But yeah, and exactly, Chris. Maybe, I mean, even if it's a girl, who knows? Maybe. But I mean, guys, I'm so stoked to be able to bring a child into this world, and and Chris did guess it. Drotty was on here, last week, and he did kind of drop a hint a little bit, which Drotty and Matthew and myself, we're all really good friends outside of here. So they've known this since we were about like 6 weeks pregnant.
I've known this since the day we went to Manchester.
Yeah.
Which has been ages. That must have been so hard to keep a secret.
Oh, dude, it was. It really was. Like to try and not talk about it yet. Like I did eventually wind up telling you guys, like I think a couple days afterwards.
Yeah.
But just, man, I'm so stoked, guys, to just. I mean, wifey and I are very blessed and very lucky to be at the position we're at, that we're able to bring a child into the world. And I can't wait to, bring the baby on the stream eventually, which we will do. Obviously, we're going to bring the baby on the stream eventually because let me tell you what, if you have a baby Southwick and an Arthur on a stream, I'm telling you, minimum 100,000 viewers. Minimum.
The red bearded baby.
Yeah, especially if it had a beard. I mean, Jesus, come on.
Oh, no, like, regardless of whether it's a boy or a girl, it's going to be born with a beard.
No, dude. Yeah. It's going to happen. I'm going to feel bad if it's a girl, which is why it needs to be a boy. So, but again, guys, I'll show you one more time. Little baby. You can see the little legs, little arms, his little head, nose. You can see like all of everything right now. So, but anyways, you guys, we're going to wrap up the stream. Matthew, I already did put your Twitter description and your Etsy store in the bottom, but I'll let you talk about it again. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, cool. I'm about 10 followers away from 1,000 right now, and I'm thinking of doing some kind of giveaway for 1,000 followers, particularly obviously stuff that's on the store. So obviously I don't know exactly what it is in a moment, but when I hit 1,000 followers, I'll come up with something. So if you're not following, then go ahead.
What are you doing? If you're not following Matthew, what are you doing?
I don't know. I think it's scientifically proven that you're about 14% happier if you click follow.
I have heard that. Heard that.
Don't ask me for my source. I don't have it, but you know, it's science.
I heard it was Oxford, bro. I heard it was Oxford.
Even better.
So.
Even better.
But it's @_Matthew @_MAFFOO. Be sure to follow him. So I mean, Football Crew Show. I might do that. I might do like a gender reveal on here, and we do have names picked out for both sexes, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, so guys, be sure to follow everybody that sent in questions today. But follow me on Twitter if you don't already. I'm sure you probably already do because most of you have found me because of it. But it's @RedbeardedRed on Twitter. Like, I mean, honestly, if you're not following this, just take away this. If you're not just following this, like this, then what are you doing? Come on.
I'll tell you what, it's even better in real life as well. It's the 8th wonder of the world.
I have heard that. I once again, no scientific evidence of it. I haven't been told exact sources, but I have been told it is the 8th wonder of the world. Oh, and then real quick, so put Benny's Twitter in there again, Matthew. Thank you.
One step ahead of you.
You're the man. But all right, guys. But we're gonna wrap it up. Matthew, as always, thank you for joining me, my friend.
No worries. Thanks for having me on again.
Always. Well, I'd literally have you on every show if you wanted to be. So, guys,
you might need to split the revenue for that.
Listen. That's for down the road. It's for down the road. But I know you, Mr. Exclusive, and I have talked about some of that stuff. So you know how I feel about that. But guys, thank you so much for joining us for a Manchester United Q&A. Had a little bit of fun. You guys got to see a massive announcement from me in my personal life. I'll be announcing it tomorrow on Twitter, so you guys are even getting the news before anybody else did. So there's some of my friends that don't, like personal friends in my state, that don't know that we're pregnant. So you guys are truly lucky. So guys, God bless you for joining us. Like, can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And just genuinely, like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the support you guys give me. So, guys, have a good night, a good day, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Keep doing you, because you guys are genuinely awesome. Love you guys.